Beze, President, Catholic Bishops Conference. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer, Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
The 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee invites the general public to the special Jumat prayers to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Friday, 24th May 2019. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Activities include Quranic recitation, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., public lecture, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Guest speaker, Dr. Bashir Ali Umar, Imam Al-Furqan Mosque, Kano. Topic, Harnessing Our Diversity for Peaceful Coexistence and National Security. Special Jumat prayer, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Prayer to be led by Professor Shehu Hamad Saeed Galadanchi, the Murshid of the National Mosque, Abuja. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer, Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Eagle Square, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer, Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Basically, it has to do with the joints, coupled up with the muscle pains and all that.
Arthritis in a layman's language is the inflammation of the joints of the body.
It is important to understand that following a bite by a female Anopheles mosquito, it will take 9 days for you to develop symptoms. It cannot happen within 2 days or 3 days, as some people would be afraid and they will be concerned about.
Me and my mom take breeze walk 2 or 3 times a week.
And how do you feel afterwards?
12, 13, 14.
President Buhari vows to end killings in parts of the country.
Nigeria Police Council confirms Mohammed Abubakar Adamu as substantive Inspector General of Police.
We've been given a tough task to make sure that we provide security within the country and make the country crime-free.
Presidential Election Petition Tribunal strikes out application seeking to stop inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss statesmanship and nation building.
All right, now, in spite of Nigeria's diversity in both tongue and tribe, as we say, the country has sustained its hard-earned unity over the years.
Indeed, Clay, and to the admiration of the rest of the world, Nigeria has remained a symbol of the common saying that there's unity in diversity, and it is on the strength of our diversity that the country's development is hinged.
And more often than not, credit is given to first-generation politicians, with great men and women who secured our independence, of course, without a drop of blood, and have also helped to shape the future of our dear country.
Well, today, Nigeria continues to boast of citizens who are, of course, elders or statesmen, and whose comments and actions speak volumes.
And indeed, we've had, of course, statesmen in the league of, we have so many. Just to mention, a few of them, Kingsley. Right. Of course, we remember late Maitama Sule, who was popularly referred to as Dan Manson in Kano. Many more, of course, are still living in the likes of General Yakubu Gowon, Ibrahim Babangida, and, of course, so many others, as I've said.
Well, no doubt about that. I mean, from all parts of the country, we have elder statesmen, or statesmen, of course, who are not so elderly. Amongst the names that you have also mentioned, you can also, of course, add a number of other former leaders, including former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anyoku, Chief Ike Clark, of course, who comes from the Niger Delta area, and on we can go. Chief Ede Shonekon, Theophilus Danjuma, the General, of course, who was Chief of Army Staff, plus, several others, as we said, that, you can mention their names with regard to their status as elder statesmen.
Indeed, Kingsley. Those are
and women.
And women. And women, thank you. Right. And those are men and women who have, as we said earlier on, helped to shape the future of our country, and who have also, come out to speak for the unity of Nigeria, and have, at sometimes exercised restraint where, of course, opinion could have been misconstrued or, spark some negative reactions.
All right, but from time to time, of course, we do get some bombshell, as it were, from some of the elder statesmen, depending on the particular circumstances under which they are speaking. And just last weekend, former President Olusegun Obasanjo delivered a keynote address at Ole, that's in the so-called local government area of Delta State. And the kernel of his keynote address has provoked wide-ranging reactions from both the government, other senior citizens, and interest groups alike.
Indeed, Kingsley, and of course, prompting our discussion this morning, what makes one an elder statesman, or who is a statesman? What are the qualities expected of statesmen in our society? These are some of the issues we will be discussing today on Good Morning Nigeria, as we focus on statesmanship and nation building. I am Claire Adilabu Abdulrazak. I thank you, as always, for joining us on the program.
Of course, my name is Kingsley Osadolo. I join my colleague Clay in also welcoming you to the program. In addition to the points that she has indicated, we'll be having our guests talk about the role of statesmen depending on the circumstances in which a country or society finds itself. It's on that note, of course, we welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria on the Nigerian Television Authority. It's been wet overnight. We don't know what the situation was like in your location.
It wasn't in my location.
It wasn't?
Not a drop.
Oh, fine. I don't know. That's MNK district, but it was cats and dogs in and around the city locations, at least phases 1 and 2 of the capital territory.
For those who don't know what MNK means, Kingsley.
I have no idea.
MNK means, okay, I'll tell you after the news.
All right.
Ijama is waiting.
Okay, well, we have the usual complimentary segments of the program, including newspaper review and business. In the meantime, let's get the morning news with our colleague, Ifeoma Ojinta. Hi, Ifeoma.
Hello, good morning, Kingsley and Claire. Good morning, Nigeria, and here is the morning news. President Muhammadu Buhari has appreciated Nigerians for sustaining their trust and confidence in his leadership over the years. He gave the appreciation while hosting some youth groups, artists, artisans, and IDPs to the breaking of the Ramadan fast. The president assured the people that under his watch, national resources will continue to be jealously guarded and effectively utilized towards enhancing their welfare and well-being, as well as guaranteeing a sustainable future for the country. To achieve this, the president, however, said Nigerians must bury their differences and demonstrate high sense of love and respect for the country.
Food, and let us live as Nigerians. And I very much appreciate your love and concern and your steadfastness in supporting me through and through. Don't give up. Nigerians accepted this system.
State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that during the event, President Muhammadu Buhari personally served meals to his guests, especially the physically challenged. Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to do whatever it takes towards bringing to an end the wanton killings in parts of the country, with a view to restoring lasting peace and stability in the polity. The president, who summoned Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina over the recent killings in the state by unknown gunmen, directed security agencies to not only fish out the perpetrators, but ensure they are brought to justice.
The security situation is really very bad, and certainly the rate is going to affect farming activities in those local government areas. And in fact, the level of attack is frightening because clearly we are seeing signs that are more than cattle rustling. These bandits are well organized, well prepared, and heavily armed. And they know where and how to strike. So this is what I believe the president has promised to take very urgent action to really curb this menace of this banditry.
In other news, the Nigeria Police Council has formally confirmed the appointment of Muhammad Abubakar Adamu as Substantive Inspector General of Police. Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State announced this while briefing newsmen after the meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari.
All across the country, we're dealing with banditry, robbery, kidnapping, and a host of challenges. But with the analysis and the quick response that he has given so far, we know that as an individual and as a leader of the force, he is more than well qualified, and all members of council attested to this.
I want to commend you for all your qualities that have made it possible for you to be confirmed as an Inspector General of Police, and the whole country looks forward to seeing you perform. I believe that your international exposure is very critical at this juncture, and I'm happy that we have your like as the Inspector General of Police. We look forward to a changed Nigeria. We look forward to a Nigerian police that have the respect of the international community, and I know you will command so.
Within the 4-year tenure of the National Economic Council, NEC was able to make 173 far-reaching resolutions geared towards achieving robust national economic issues capable of safeguarding the interests of the nation. At the valedictory session, the chairman of the council and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo expressed gratitude for the commitment of the members for their uncommon hard work and dedication towards steering the affairs of the country.
We must, as leaders, will have a duty to keep the peace and welfare of our state. We must not only rise above the temptation to take advantage of our country's fault lines, but we must openly condemn and restrain those who do so. We must openly condemn them. We must insist that this country truly belongs to all of us, especially those who cannot defend themselves.
In this council, Mr. VP, I want to state here that we've never had any cause to be known by our party lines. Never. You've provided us quality leadership, freedom of expression, and I've also learned a lot from you, that as a leader, you must have a large heart.
I want you to stand with one another, to stand by one another, to stand for the Nigerian nation.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has struck out the application of the Hope Democratic Party seeking to stop the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari pending the determination of its petition. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State on his emergence as the chairman of the Nigeria's Governors Forum. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari expresses delight that Dr. Fayemi's choice was by consensus, indicating the degree of confidence reposed in him by his colleagues. He urges the new chairman to see his election as a unique opportunity to forge a harmonious relationship not only with the federal government but also with other arms and tiers of government. While wishing Governor Fayemi a successful tenure, the president commends his immediate predecessor, Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State, for his leadership style as chairman of the forum. Now, the attention of the 7 APC chairmen in Kwara South Senatorial Zone has been drawn to a press release issued on the 22nd of May by some elders parading and claiming to be speaking for Kwara South APC elders, asking President Muhammadu Buhari not to reappoint Alhaji Lai Mohammed for a second term as minister. Activities of this group, they said, should be disregarded in its entirety and whatever it stands for. This was contained in a statement signed by the 7 local government party chairmen, saying that the signatories of the said release, Chief J.B. Ayeni and one Jide Usman, are not speaking for Kwara South, let alone their local government areas. The local government APC chairman said, at the moment, the party's hierarchy in the 7 local government areas of the senatorial district has not constituted any elders forum or committee to speak for it, adding that the illegal body, as represented by Ayani and Usman, which is castigating the Honorable Minister Alhaji Lai Mohammed as regards the last general elections, forgot to intimate the general public with the extraordinary effort they put to the party's victory in their domain that makes them to be more important than the Honorable Minister. They stated unequivocally that Alhaji Lai Mohammed, as minister, provided all the necessary apparatus required of a leader in making the APC record a resounding victory in the last general elections. The Senate has passed the bill that seeks to establish the National Road Fund Bill. The bill, when signed into law, would provide a predictable and sustainable source of funding for road maintenance in Nigeria.
This bill seeks to establish the National Road Fund, which is a repository of revenues occurring from road users, related charges and other sources of financing, which shall be managed and administered for the periodic and routine maintenance of works on roads and related matters.
The report on National Road Funds Establishment, etc. Bill 2090, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
And the House of Representatives has passed the Money Laundering Repeal and Reenactment Bill. The bill was among the 9 passed at Thursday's plenary. And that's the news for now. Good morning, Nigeria continues with Kingsley and Claire after this break.
2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee invites the general public to the Interdenominational Church Service to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, scheduled to hold as follows. Dates: Sunday 26 May 2019. Venue: National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja. Time: 2:30 p.m. prompt. Theme: setting the nation on higher levels of peace and development in the fear of God. Habakkuk 3:19. Speaker: Archbishop Augustine Akubeze, President, Catholic Bishops Conference. Special guest of honor: His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer: Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Enjoy the complete tea with the new Pick 3-in-1 Instant Tea Mix. Pick, reach for your peak.
Milo Ready to Drink with Active Go is made with the natural goodness of milk, malt and cocoa with essential vitamins and minerals, so you can pack the winning energy of Milo into your lunchbox to make sure your champ is always ready to keep winning every day. Milo, the energy food drink of future champions. Milo! Milo!
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 Naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803-3144-383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar, Announcer.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results. Shh, it's our little secret. It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
All right, now it's time for us to take some business stories, and here is our correspondent, Joy Uzo.
Welcome. The need to bridge the technological gap in the country has once again been brought to the front burner, with experts describing it as a basis for advancement in developing nations. This came to the fore during a summit organized by a foundation towards a greater Nigeria in collaboration with Information and Telecommunications Engineering Services Limited, ITESL Fab Lab, to sensitize Nigerian scientists and innovators on the need to employ local digital solutions in solving the country's systematic challenges for its sustained economic development. The organizers of this event believes Nigeria's science and innovation space still leaves more to be desired as global technologies keep evolving, leaving third world countries grappling with challenges of dumping, among other issues.
What we are doing now is to see how we can run away from being a consuming nation to a producing nation. I said earlier on that we're looking at what we can do to also get our agriculture to a higher boost. We believe by the time we engage more Nigerians in the beauty of agriculture, train them in the skills and the know-how, let them know they don't have to go to the farms to use hoes and cutlasses. It's mechanized farming, it's mechanized agriculture. The produce in terms of groundnut, millet, cotton, cassava, just name it, will be huge and ready for exports. We wouldn't be dependent on importing things that we shouldn't import.
With the new executive order by the president that wants to boost local production and local capacity, we feel that this is the best time for us to start this movement.
The theme for this summit is digital manufacturing, diversity and inclusion for sustainable local content development.
There's one area where we're making an effort, which is in solar PV technology. We're making an effort in that space, but there's a lot more we need to do. We need to play in the energy storage game. We need to have Nigerian entrepreneurs start their own self-driving car businesses that can vie and rival Uber. Because Uber, Taxify, these companies are international companies coming to take our money.
A lot of people are just going to get BSc, but when they come out with those BScs, do they have skills, the necessary skills to fit into the labor market? The answer is no. So you find a lot of unemployable youths that are just loafing around, and then that is the major factor for most of the problems we are having, insurgency, a lot of idle youths.
This is an opportunity to really to think about ways to utilize technology to advance economic opportunities in Nigeria.
Now the manufacturing industry is changing rapidly with the development of new processes and the use of digital technologies to drive innovation. In turn, manufacturers are under more pressure than ever to deliver better products faster at lower cost and with less waste. Finally, investors gain 146.39 billion naira as market sentiment remains positive. Year-to-date returns hit positive territory. Thursday's trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange inched up by 1.07%. The all-share index closed at 31,477.51 basis points. 6,000 deals exchanged hands with a trade volume of 551 million, valued at 8.6 billion naira. Market capitalization as at close of trade stood at 13.8 trillion naira. That's business news. Many thanks for your time. I'm Joy Uzo. Do enjoy the rest of the program.
All right, that was Joy Uzo on our business news. Well, let's move on now. Newspaper review is next.
Our newspaper reviewer, Bayo Atoyebe, is with us in the studios for today's review session. Bayo, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Kinsley. Good morning. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning,
Nigeria.
Bayo. Good morning. It's Friday, as always. Good to see you.
Wet Friday, yes.
Yeah, it was wet in your area?
Yes.
Of course. Very wet. Except for Claire, who said
well, my district is quite unique. I'm sure you know MNK district. So,
yes. I hear Kinsley say it was raining cat and dogs.
In
Abuja,
his district.
It's elephants and hippopotamus in Lagos.
All right, let's get on with it now. And Kinsley, should I take off?
Well, let's...
I'd like to take off with the Apapa story. So,
yeah, there are also interesting photographs on the front page of the Punch newspaper, but go ahead.
Okay. Daily Sun let me leave the headline there and go to the picture story, just a little below the headline story. And you find the standstill at Bega Cement area of Oshodi-Akpakpa Expressway, Lagos. That was yesterday. And this paper says 24 hours after President Muhammadu Buhari issued a 72-hour ultimatum to clear the expressway leading to Apapa Wharf and Tinkan Island Port. There you see. I wonder what will happen, Bayo. And how many hours have we gone yet?
Well, by the last time the president made the pronouncement, we've gone about 36 hours. 12 hours plus 24, 36 hours. We have another 36 to go. And already there are indications that some of the tanker drivers are on their own already moving to some of the locations designated for tanker and trailers. There, however, has arisen some challenges. Some of the tanker drivers are saying that they are being exploited at the terminals where they are supposed to load. But you know, whenever directives come like this, at the initial stages, there will be a lot of stampedes and everything. But let's see what it turns out to be in the next 36 hours.
Oh, my heart goes out to people living within this area.
Yes.
Huh.
Well, that's an ordeal that they have endured for years. Yeah. It's an ordeal. I mean, that's, residents of Apapa GRA, for instance, Beachland Estate, parts of Festac, everybody's been complaining. And it's a topic that we've handled on this program on a number of occasions. So the most important thing is to ensure that the directive by the president is carried out and is sustained, because you can always have a relapse. There was a time the expressway was cleared, and within a matter of weeks again, it was clogged. Now, there's another photograph.
Claire's laments sounds like the proverbial tortoise who fell into a cesspool. And when the rescue came, he said, hurry up, I can't remain here any longer.
Anymore. Yes.
It's been there for long and it will soon be over.
It's been there, but I'm concerned about, of course, this latest development. You can see from the picture story, Bayo.
That's a daily occurrence. It's a daily occurrence. I mean, the people just avoid going to that access.
Oh.
Yes, and it's not just Apapa, there's a spillover, depending on where you are, sometimes to Western Avenue. Western Avenue. I mean, I remember one December like this, you could see the long queue of articulated trucks. Yes. Some of them with containers, some of them with others, tankers, and so on, right up to Ojuelegba. In fact, beyond the area? Coastal is near. It's well beyond Ojuelegba. Almost getting to Mashalashi, which were around where you used to have Fela's Republic in those days, before it was pulled down in 1977. All right, let's take a look at the photograph also on the front page of the Punch newspaper. This speaks to security. The Punch newspaper, look at the photograph there. It says, suspected kidnappers seized weapons, medicines, phones, and other items as they were paraded by the police in Maiduguri. That took place yesterday. Look at the array of guns. Some of them, of course, locally fabricated. Look at the presence. And you should remember that just last week there was also the photograph of 93 suspects who were picked up on the Kaduna-Abuja axis for being the masterminds of the kidnapping. So that's ongoing there. But the lead story of the Punch newspaper is what we'll take now. CAN, that's Christian Association of Nigeria, and JNI clash over federal government's radio station for herdsmen. Details of that story can be found on page 2. And Federal Executive Council divided on Air Nigeria. That's one of the earpieces beside the nameplate of the Punch, and that's attributed to Amechi. NFIU guidelines, ignore governors, Nolge tells Buhari, that's page 9. And 2 headlines there above the nameplate of the Punch newspaper, 2 headlines. One, banditry, Katsina cancels Masari's inauguration activities. Banditry, Katsina cancels Masari's inauguration activities. That's on page 2. Restructure police operations, IG says after confirmation. That's on page 14. And then right at the foot of the front page of the Punch, court fixes June 24th for Saraki's suit against the FCC. And general manager arrested for stealing company's cars in Lagos.
Just before Bayo comes in, again, the Daily Sun's lead story says governors blow hot over LG funds. And it comes with 2 or so riders there. Describe new NFIU guidelines as illegal to meet Buhari on insecurity. And be careful what you say, Oshibajo cautions the governors. And just by the nameplates there, just the right earpiece. 14.4 million Nigerians take hard drugs. That's coming from the UN. Ranks Oyo major cultivator and user of cannabis. There are trending stories at the bottom of the paper. ICPC's review exposes corruption in customs for other agencies. And reps approve sanctions against 15 banks for non-remittance of stamp duties. And Buhari Carlo Fauci greet Fayemi on NGF leadership. And that statement of coming from the new police IG, newly confirmed police IG. FG confirms Adamu as IGP. Restructure pledges police boss. Details of that on pages 4 and 5. Bio.
Yes. The appointment of the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, has been confirmed. This followed the meeting of the Police Council. The Police Council is presided over by the President and is composed of governors of the state. Actually, the duties of the Inspector General of Police are provided for in the Constitution in Section 215 and Section 216. However, members of the Council had their spokesman, the Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, saying the Inspector General of Police was commended for using community policing as a stopgap to fill the void between citizens and security. And all of them extolled his qualities, particularly his national and international exposure, and says that he's brought some tremendous impetuses onto policing in Nigeria. Governments are now saying that they have to do a lot more to address the root causes of crime, and they are advocating for cooperation with the police so that the socioeconomic challenges that are the underpinnings for crime and criminality can be reduced. The other issue of interest is that state governments too have been charged to look inwards for resources to develop their states, rather than go cap in hand all the time to the federal government for help. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this admonition, and he said that we can think, if state governors that can think out of the box can transform their states without federal government assistance. He was represented by the Vice President at Owerri, where the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport was commissioned. He said his administration has been generous to state governors, adding that those who are sincere can take care of their states without looking for help elsewhere, because all states, according to Mr. President, are viable. He commended Governor Rochas Okorocha by what he has been able to achieve in Imo State, and he says that it shows that it is possible for governors to develop their states without looking for federal government assistance. The federal government, he says, is proud of Governor, and the All Progressive family are proud of Governor Rochas Okorocha. Governor Rochas Okorocha also said that the federal government for allowing it to take on some federal projects. But he quickly added, we are asking for refund as soon as possible.
Okay, I know Kisley have some. Let me quickly take the front page of leadership. The lead story says states can survive without FG's assistance. That's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. Osinbajo tells outgoing governors not to idle away their lives. And Israeli Prime Minister to visit Nigeria after 61 years. And there are other stories trending just below the nameplate. NATS passes pack and pay bill for FCT. And ASU threatens another strike. Kingsley.
All right. We'll take a look at the front page of Daily Trust now. Daily Trust, I'll just go through the stories very quickly, but there's an interesting photograph on page 2 of the Daily Trust. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the front page of the Daily Trust. Front page of Daily Trust in the meantime. Osinbajo, governors raise alarm over population explosion and tiny economy. And 15,000 Sokoto and Zamfara IDPs now refugees in Niger Republic. Lead story says, speakership, APC, PDP reps move to strike deal. Those are the headlines from the front page of the Daily Trust. As I said before, we go to page 2 of the paper.
I think we should take all, since we don't have much time, Kingsley.
Well, let Bayo discuss this story, because that's the last piece.
I wanted to draw attention to a story very current. Leadership has actually discussed justices of the court whose husbands are politicians. You recall that the president of the Court of Appeal, on personal grounds, withdrew from being member of the presidential panel. But the paper has listed some of the justices. Justice Binta Nyako, wife of former Adamawa Governor Murtala Nyako, who is also standing trial before a court in Abuja. Justice Eberechi Wike, wife of the Governor Nyesom Wike. Justice Mary Odili, wife of former Governor of Peter Odili, who in fact has been granted what is the paper described as perpetual injunction against trial in the court. There are also Justice Mary Ann Aneni, Justice Chioma Ngosu, Justice Jumoke Pedro. But the paper did not provide a list of justices whose wives are also politicians. That would have even balanced what our sisters will say, this is gender discrimination.
That's right. This issues to always return to. I was saying earlier, in the story there, the one that we have already discussed on the population explosion in the country. Oshibajo and governors, raising alarm over population explosion. That story is in greater detail on page 3 of the Daily Trust. But there's a photograph on page 2 of Daily Trust, which let's focus on that now. Yes, you see that the man on the bicycle is the Dutch Prime Minister, and he's said to be riding away after voting in the European elections at The Hague in the Netherlands yesterday. That was after he cast his vote at The Hague, and you see him riding away in his bicycle. So yes. where are the outriders? Where are the sirens? And then the hillocks with horsewhip wielding policemen and so on and so forth. So that's when we look. When sometimes we say international best practices. So what are the examples that we look forward to?
Is bicycle riding international best practice?
Oh, well, it's certainly yes. Certainly yes. I mean, the simplicity of it.
Yes.
And then the architecture that makes that possible in the first instance.
Exactly.
That is international best practice. It is not just the fact that it's on a cycle, but the fact that, he's comfortable enough in his community.
There's the last one I'd like us to take a look at is the cartoon, Citizens Joe, at the back of the Daily Sun. Yes. And I'm sure you'll see it in just this, that's it. Now, many people don't know Buhari cracks jokes. That's President Muhammad Buhari laughs and raises his legs. And you see that attributed to the Minister of Labour in Ngigi. And then below there says, yes, laughter is the best medicine. Well, that's
the president has a peculiarity. When he's about to tell a joke, he puts off a very straight face. And when he tells the joke, if you're not careful, you will miss it. Until when everybody breaks into laughter before you realize there was a joke.
All right, I think that's what we have for today.
That was the valedictory session of the Federal Executive. There was a big joke also cracked by Dr. Chris Ngige, with regard to, take a look at that when you... Because a joke involved the vice president, he involved himself in Gigi,
okay, of course,
Adam Soshomole, and the governor of Kaduna. You can say what's common amongst all of them.
It's a question of size. I don't understand.
All right, Bayo, thank you very much.
Thank you
have
too.
a good weekend.
You too.
We'll see you on Monday. All right, you're watching Good Morning Nigeria. We're set for our discussion this morning on statesmanship and nation building. But let's take this background there. Of course, our correspondents have put it together.
indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors.